we have a loot problem in Destiny 2 this season. They decided to remove weapon crafting, which was a positive change in the community's eyes at first, but they did a couple of sneaky things to make this a really atrocious seasonal weapon grind. What they did, they added in more weapons than normal, which normally wouldn't be a bad thing, and then they also added in more perks on those weapons than ever before. So trying to get Scavenger's Fate means you have to sift through 8 other seasonal weapons, 3 reprised splicer weapons, 5 armor pieces, so you got like a 1 in 16 chance there, and then Scavenger's Fate is 7 perks in each column, which is more than ever before. Weapons almost always used to have 6 perks on each column, and then prior to that it was like 4. So we're just steadily increasing how bad the RNG is, and I don't know why. Like, they're doing that against giving us more loot, so it's like offsetting itself. What's the point of that? Like, I don't get it. I'm confused. Not only that, but the measures they put in to curb RNG this season, the tonics, they're not even working, and they're not even designed well anyway. The legendary tonics right now are glitched for Tomb of Elders. They're not dropping the specified weapon more often, but a really easy way to identify that glitch would have been setting them up so that they only drop the weapon that they're named after. That way, if they were dropping anything else, you'd know they're bugged and you could have fixed it before this act released, instead of having this stupid RNG bug slip under the radar. And it sucks, but they're going to get on fixing that hopefully. Hopefully they fix it by making them a guaranteed chance for the particular weapon they're named after. That'd be great. And it still wouldn't fix the RNG issue, because 7 perks in each column is doing devastating, having devastating effects on the RNG. So on my screen here, you've probably seen it already. I have Scavenger's Fate on one end and a weapon roll chance calculator on the other. I'm going after Lone Wolf closing time. To get Lone Wolf and closing time on Scavenger's Fate, it's a 2% chance, or a 2.04% chance. Exactly. That means you need to get 34 Scavenger's Fates to have a 50% probability of getting Lone Wolf closing time, meaning any roll after 34 drops is unlucky to have not rolled with Lone Wolf closing time, and anyone prior is lucky to have rolled with Lone Wolf closing time. That's pretty ridiculous, because you can't stop there in PvP. You need the right mag, you need the right barrel, and you need the right masterwork. To get the right of those things, you have a 0.12% chance, meaning if I wanted accurized, small bore, barrel shrouder, corkscrew, and then a handling or range masterwork, I have a 0.12% chance. I'm being pretty forgiving here, because that's not even exact. In certain cases, I wouldn't want like all handling, because then I'm missing some range. So that's not even exact, but even that chance is 579 drops of Scavenger's Fate. No one's getting that amount of Scavenger's Fates, so that means you don't have the proper probability of getting the gun. You actually can't get it. You have to get lucky to get the gun. Lame. Absolutely lame. In the past, there used to be 6 perks on each weapon. That, in order to get just the 2 perks you wanted, was a 25 drop needed pursuit. And in the past prior to that, there was 4 perks in each column, meaning you only needed 12 drops to have a 50% chance at the perk combination you wanted. So it does really bad damage to the RNG each time they add a new perk to the column, and they keep doing it. They keep doing it. They're sneaking it in every season, and it's not necessarily a bad thing if they were to change the weapon pursuit. Because, first of all, having more perks in each column means you have more chances at having interesting perk combinations and things that you might want to use. It gives the gun more range of what it can do in the game in both PvE and PvP, which is cool. And it's also making the probability of just getting the 2 perks quite healthy if all you needed was 2 perks. Imagine a world where if I got Lone Wolf closing time on Scavenger's Fate, I could level up the gun, select the mag, select the masterwork, and select the barrel. Then it's actually a pretty reasonable loot chase. I need 30 something Scavenger's Fates, and then I'll most likely have gotten Lone Wolf closing time by then, and then I can customize the weapon and go off into the game and have some fun. That to me is pretty good, and that to me is almost necessary at this point. Anything less than that is just, it's killing the game. No one wants to do this loot chase. The bigger problem with loot chases in general is that it creates this big disparity between the high skill, very active players and the not very active players. Because those high skill players that are playing the game all the time, they're going to eventually get the good roll. That means they now have a god roll of something, and the low skill player who's already fundamentally worse than them at the game doesn't, because they don't have the time to get it. So now there's this double disparity of both skill and loot between these high tier players and low tier players. And I think getting the loot out of that equation would be much better for helping out their ability to balance the game. Because this is an issue in both PvE and PvP where they have to make these PvE activities, the endgame activities, balanced around the endgame loot that many people don't have the time to get, meaning they're going to struggle on those activities far more than other players. Same deal with PvP. You're trying to implement these different matchmaking systems because the low skill players have bad loot and are bad at the game. And how are you going to balance them against someone who has great loot and is great at the game? You really can't. So getting loot out of the equation would help, I think. And I think the way I recommended of doing it would be great. I really do think this is something they're going to have to do, but it remains to be seen what they're even cooking up, because they're obviously working on some expansion of the weapon tiering system and they're working on new armor. So maybe they have plans already in place to fix some of this stuff, but knowing Bungie, they definitely don't. They're definitely not trying to fix this. They're probably trying to make it worse because they are just delusional. Like at this point, it's starting to seem like they're delusional. Adding in these tonics and not having them guarantee the weapon, like the legendary tonics not guaranteeing the weapon, is insane. What are they thinking? Terrible idea. It led to bugs being undetected. It's just embarrassing at this point, honestly. They're running this game into the ground, and it's like, why? Some of this stuff is very avoidable. But that's it for the video. I don't need to start trashing Bungie. They're working on a fix. Hopefully it's a good one. Hopefully I can get my Scavenger's Fate God roll soon enough. I've already turned in 125 multi-mocks this week of Iron Banner. Still haven't gotten the roll I'm looking for. And I have some leeway in the roll. I want rangefinder, kinetic tremors, target lock, or kill clip, accurized rounds, small bore, full bore, or hammer forged, and then a range masterwork. Haven't gotten it. I just haven't gotten it. I can't get it. I have no glimmer left. I'm going to Xur, turning in the one engram thing to get upgrade modules occasionally, so I can go and sell them to Revolt just to scrape up glimmer to get multi-mocks. I'm in the trenches right now. I can't get it. It's terrible. I have gotten rangefinder kinetic tremors, so in my world of being able to then enhance the perks and pick your mag, masterwork, and barrel, I'd be done. But no, I have to keep not having fun in the game and waiting till I can get the roll I want. Awesome. It's making the ritual activities really fun to go in them just to grind loot rather than play with the loot you like. It's great for the game. It's really healthy, as you can see in the booming player base, Bungie. Good job. That's it for me, though. I'm out. I don't want to hate on them anymore. Peace.